This is where we hold them. This is where we fight.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.
Rob, what's good, homie?
Matt Ogle to the moon, baby. Let's go. Matt Ogle, let's freaking go. Plus 8,000 I got him at before the tournament started. I am riding him. I'm ready to roll, but I am ready to roll for the next 6 games tomorrow morning. Woo!
You know what? I'm not even gonna front. Like Rob's been on a tear. Rob's been on a tear with picking bowling. If I could hold on, I gotta go through my text threads and bring this up. And I want to read to all of you what Rob sent out at the beginning of the week. Let's see. Where's his text? Here you go. Here's his text. Rob sent this out Tuesday morning. All right, Tuesday morning. Okay, before qualifying started. He says, I feel like the bowling gods have told me that this is a week for a one-off pro to win. Someone like a Jake Peters, a Sterner, an Ogle, or an Andrew Anderson. I mean, listen, like, Sterner's still in it. Jake Peters made the cut. Ogle's looking like he's going to make the step ladder. Rob's got money on Ogle. I went favorites this week, I feel like, right? I had Prather, Chris Vi, Tom Darty, who finished in like next to last. I might as well have lit that $10 on fire. And AJ Johnson for 10. And I was hype earlier today when AJ Johnson was in the lead. And I was like, oh boy, here we go. And that's all Flanagan and crew were talking about on Bowl TV. You were in there, you were in the chat. So like I was hype. I was hype when that was going down. Now he's cooled off. Who knows if he can get it back? He's kind of far out of the show. We'll discuss the standings in a bit here. But listen, my point is that my guy over here, my co-host over here, he might be the best bowling bettor in the world. Okay, this is another title I'm going to bestow upon Sweep the Rack. We got the best bowling bettor in the world. Who calls those guys? And most of them make the. I mean, could you imagine if we were able to bet on make the cut, right, or finish above this place? Rob, we'd be paying for your house already if we were able to bet on that kind of stuff.
Early retirement. That's what I'm saying in the chat room. But I got Sterner too. I got Sterner and Ogle right now before the tournament started. And really, there's no really trick or secret. I mean, you kind of just ride a hot hand at some point, right? You got to look at the tournaments before and how they bowled, and you got to try to.
Yeah, but if you so fair point, right? We've been doing that in our betting. We've been looking at the past tournaments, right, and seeing what's going on. But if you looked at the standings from this event last year at this place, it was mostly chalk. Belmo won. It was mostly chalk in the final. So that's why I went chalk. I thought, this is probably going to be a week where a known guy bowls well. Maybe not EJ and Simo, but somebody else who's usually pretty heavily on it. But all right, so do you
Riverboat Rob?
Yeah, bet Brooklyn Rob, bet Rivers bets. Bet Rivers Rob. Bet Rivers Rob. We should change your nickname. We should change your nickname to Bet Rivers Rob.
Bet Rivers Boat Rob.
I mean, that's how he's going to be known in the gambling world after we break him for $1 million in the PBA season. I mean, we already had a four-figure score last week on some Belmo win, So.
Right now.
But no, listen, like I really I feel like a broken record, but I really hope that the betting stuff gets expanded. I really want to be able to bet on who makes the cut and who doesn't. Like, to me, that's like, give me that, and I'm gonna need a $500 bankroll per week, but I'm gonna be making money every week.
Yeah, but the odds are going to be terrible. It's going to be bad odds for you, man. It'll be like -4, -600, -1,000 odds. Like,
okay, on some of them, but like, I think if you're selective, you could probably find some really good bets. Riverboat Rob and Titanic Mike. Yeah, I know. Thanks, Charlie. No doubt. That's why I'm drinking. That's why I'm trying to stay off the soda, son. So what do you want to do? You want to get into league review, etc., or you want to jump right into talking about this PBA event that's going on right now?
I mean, nothing really extravagant in league this week. People are asking if I got a table. I didn't. I got a text message from my boy TQ. He's like, "Yo, sorry guys, I can't get to the bowling alley. The earliest I can get there is 4:30. Man, I can't get a table." I'm like, really? Like, come on, man. Is this where we're at with Bolero? I have, what is it, March 23rd now. Got probably like 5 more weeks left in the league. This third has been a disaster. We're not winning. We're losing every week. We're getting our asses handed to us. Me personally, 665. I missed the pocket 3 times. I start off the night with a pocket 710. I was like, oh, it's going to be downhill from there. But let me tell you a little quick story that is just standard league story, okay? Standard league story. I'm not exaggerating, Mike. I missed the pocket 3 times in 3 games, okay, for 660. I was back-to-back stone 9s, stone, 10s, 7s, you name it, I left it, right? Whole back row. The guy I was bowling against was bowling really, really good. Didn't leave a 10 pin until like the mid-third game. And what does he do when he leaves the 10 pin? He's yelling and cursing. And I'm just like looking at him like, sit the fuck up, bro. Like, seriously, like, I've been leaving this shit for fucking 3 games, man. Like, I don't want to hear the bullshit, right? Like, I'm taking it on the chin, right? I'm just laughing it off at this point. I only bring in like 3 balls to league, plastic, and the 1 ball I'm going to use. I don't even know why I put my other ball in the bag. I ain't using it.
Just to even out the weight.
Pretty much. So I'm literally stuck to my 1 ball. I'm all in with it. So, anyway, so that was my league review. Nothing really crazy. Just another night at Bolero Mesa, standing around for 3 hours and leaving flat 10s. So,
I gotta say, I'm growing tired of the complaints about the table. Unless you just do something on your own to rectify it, just bring in your own damn table. It's that easy. Just bring.
I don't have a room in my car for a table, man.
Well, somebody has to. You could throw a table in your back seat in your car.
Oh, my!
A little fold-up table, just throw right in the back seat. I mean, come on, be proactive about this at this point. These are you are all smart, accomplished people. I'm sure bowling on this team. So,
Hey, I'm not complaining. I'm. People want to know. The first thing in the chat room is people want to know if I got tables. Somebody was actually at Bowl TV, Rob's table.
You could all get those. Jimmy, the ringing 10 is right. Not a fold. Like, you could all get those fold-up stools, and just bring them in and pop them right down. Pop down the fold-up stools, sit in a little semicircle in the back with some fold-up stools.
I got 5 stuff, man. I'm done with it. I'm done with the table bullshit. I'll still hammer Bolero for it because I like to.
Oh, well, speaking of hammer and Bolero, I feel like our league report has become like a let's bitch about Bolero session for the most part, because there's just so many things wrong. So my league was actually canceled this week because the power went out in the center. The center lost power.
Is it bad weather?
No, not really. I don't know what the problem was.
You got to pay the bills?
Nah, I doubt it. But yeah, it's one thing after the other, So no league report from me.
I got no tables. You have no power.
Yeah, I know. No bowling.
Get your shit together over here. What's going on? Publicly traded company. You got no power. I got no tables. What the fuck's going on out here?
So
bad spot, Mike. I tell you.
Yeah. So I'll be I'll be out. I'll be out for a little bit. I might go practice this week. On Sunday, I might try and go practice, but it's dance competition season, so got a lot of that going on right now. That's actually why we started late tonight, because I was responsible for taking my kids to a dance practice. But so yeah, it is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of issues. So no bowling this week, but
hey, there's a little bit of a inside info here from Luis Gaudio. You might want to pull us up. I don't know who Cruella is, but
Cretella, it's one of the guys who bowls our little sport league thing that we have going on, and yeah, we tried to get word out to everybody, but I guess he didn't check his phone and showed up anyway, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But you got to check your phone for these things. We sent out text and email, so honestly, I kid about Bolero. I don't know what the cause of the power outage was. I have no idea. It could have been that a car hit a pole outside or something. I have no clue. But yeah, so last minute we got the word, and that's been that. Nico's asking if I've been to the training center recently. Last time I went was like probably a few weeks back. I haven't been there really recently. I'm going to try and go this weekend, perhaps on Sunday. I'll be honest, I haven't really had the time or anything to look forward to bowl. So there was really no motivation for me to go practice. But yeah, there's a couple things coming up that I think I'll be able to go to. So I want to get out there. And like I said, I'm thinking about trying to go on Sunday. They have a good deal on Sundays. I think it's like half price from like 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. or something on Sunday. So that's a pretty good deal, like to be able to go in there and get a lane and get some work in for half price. So go check it out if you're in the area and you haven't been there. Rev Rates, Parker Bone Elite Training Center. Check it out if you haven't been there. Definitely a place that is worth your time to go to. All right, Rob, what do you want to get into here? You want to talk a little PBA? We talked bets a little bit, obviously.
Yeah, we talked bets. So let's go through where we're at right now with the Kokomo Classic. And they just finished up their qualifying to get to the top 12. And I'm going to read the top 12 players off, and we can kind of go through who we think, where we're at, and where the format looks like. So interesting that this format is a little bit different. So the top 12 are going to bowl tomorrow. I believe they bowl at 9 a.m. I believe that's East Coast time.
Nah, it's later tomorrow. It's later tomorrow. I forget what time it is. I'm not sure, but I know it's later tomorrow. It's
okay,
later.
Well, I think it's 9 my time. That's why
it's only 6 games tomorrow.
Yeah, well, it shows 9 my time, I think. So that's why it's 12 probably your time.
Okay.
They bowl 6 games, no match play. It's just 6 games and then to the show, which is the final 4.
Right.
Right now, 12th, Jason Sterner, who I have odds-wise, good bet. He's plus 534. He looks to be about 114 pins off the show right now, 12th. So he's got a lot of room to make up with no match play bonus. It's going to be hard. Simo snuck in at 11th. So in case nobody was watching tonight, they just finished up about an hour ago. It got down to Simo, Sterner, DJ Archer, and there was a couple of other players like Knowles who could have made it if he had a big game. It went down to the last literally shot. Archer needed a strike 8 spare to go in front of Sterner. He was on a big game too, 260 something. And Archer ends up throwing the first one and then 3-6-10 to end up missing the top 12 by 1 pin and bowled like 250 the last game too. Sterner gets up, leaves the same spare as DJ Archer at 3-6-10. He actually finished up before Archer and makes the spare and then throws a light 4 pin. Simo gets up and throws 2 of the probably best shots I've seen him throw in that game to end up getting in as well. So it was pretty interesting the last half hour to watch the final game to get into the top 12. AJ Johnson, 10th, who was leading at one time, who Mike, I know, had betting-wise prior to the tournament, which was, in my opinion, a pretty good bet. Eventually, he's going to break through. He's starting to bowl really well. Keiko coming in from the PTQ. I feel like Keiko
let me ask a question for a second. AJ Johnson plus 558. Okay, so 42 from 600, and then 48. 648 is the show.
Yes.
So 42 and 48. He's what, 70? No,
No, it's
he's 90.
90 something. Yeah.
He's 90 out of the show. Okay.
Mm.
People in the chat, does he have a chance to make it tomorrow or no? 90 out of the show, 6 games to go, no match play. I'm also trying to figure out like who's still in this. Who's still in this? Because we're getting there. Keiko is only 3 pins ahead of AJ Johnson, so he's kind of in the same boat, right? I don't know. David Tolson says yes. I'll be honest, David. I kind of feel like the answer is no. 90 pins with 6 games, and the guys, you got to assume that the guys ahead of you, especially with that many guys ahead of you, somebody's going to bowl something, right? So you got to beat a lot of guys every game to be able to make a run like that. But all right, Keiko's 3 pins ahead of Johnson, so he still has about 90 to go, right?
Yeah,
then you got Lavery Spar,
which is interesting.
Okay.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong here, but
577.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong here, but
70.
Mike, Anthony's usually the Lavery Spar brother that's usually making the cuts, right? You don't see a lot of Sean, right? So good to see Sean in the top 12 bowling real well, honestly. Like sometimes it's easy to confuse him too on you just see Lavery Spar and you just assume it's one person. But Tommy Jones, dude,
588.
Only 50-some pins out. He's definitely in it, no doubt about it.
588. So he is 60 pins off the show.
Oh, that's nothing in 6 games.
60 pins. Okay. Yeah. And Brian in the chat saying Tommy is the lowest he would go to make it. I kind of agree, Brian.
What?
I kind of agree with
only
that.
11 behind Tommy.
Yeah, but I just don't. I mean, Lavery Spar's in 8th, so like for him to make it, not only is he going to have to bowl good, but you also have to bank on Tackett, Russo, and Jones all not really bowling much. Yeah, and I don't like if you're Jones, you only got to bank on Tackett and Russo not bowling much, or maybe even have a Stu Williams slide out of the cut at some point. But
look, if you go 200 over for 6, 250 over for 6, which is, look, it's a big number, but these guys are the best in the world. You could, you're not bowling against other people. You're bowling against yourself with 6 games. Me, how I would target that, I would bowl my own game, not worry about what anybody else is doing. If I can get hot and average 230, 240 for 6, you got it. You got a chance, my opinion.
All right, so you got Jones 588, Russo 625. Mm-hmm. Right, he's clear. These guys are clearly in it. They're only 23 pins out. Tackett 628. He's 20 pins out.
Man,
the next 4 guys have to be like, please, let's just shut him out. Please, they don't want to see him in that stepladder.
No, and he's coming in firing tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, he's coming in firing. Of course he is. He's there. He smells blood. Oh. He smells blood. There's blood in the water. He's coming for it.
He's Mike. Okay? Mike, he's having what could be considered the best PBA season ever. Really, right now. If he makes his show and he finishes in 1st or 2nd, even forget 1st or 2nd, he finishes in the show, you have to put him up there as right now currently having one of the greatest PBA seasons of all time.
Yeah, certainly. Certainly. Right? If he won this event, he would have won more than half the event. So we might be talking about the best season ever when it's all said and done. We still have a little bit to go. But, all right, so you got Russo, 625, Tackett, 628, and now the guys in the ladder already going into the last block. Stu Williams, 648, Matt Ogle, 685, Graham Fa, 690, and Packy just crushing them, man, plus 854. Nico just said in the chat, Packy's minus 670 to finish 1st or 2nd. It's pretty much. It's pretty much a lock at this point. He's like 170 pins, pretty much ahead of 2nd, with only 6 games to go. So chances are Packy's going to be bowling for the title here, one way or another. But all right, we had a couple. had a couple questions here.
I
Lou
wanna talk
wanted
about the
Lou
pattern.
wanted to know. Yeah, Lou wanted to know what we thought about the Harry Smith pattern. He's bowling a regional on it, and he's curious what we thought about it.
But correct
I'll
me if
get.
I'm wrong.
Let
Was the
me.
Harry the left or the right lane?
I don't think. Listen, don't ask me because this was going to be my quick comment. They all look the same to me, bro. I'm sorry. I mean, maybe it's because I can't. It's like hard, the resolution of the screen is not
No.
real great, so I can't see exactly like where the ball is rolling over the arrows, but they just all, a lot of these patterns, it just seems to be the same thing where you start straight somewhere between 10 and 15, and then you move way left and it's steep angles through the front part of the lane,
So Lou,
shooting the ball extreme right, trying to control, trying to make the ball do the right thing in the middle part of the lane is what it looks like is the challenge to me.
it is. So Lou, like my opinion is I would go back and watch Tom Hess and Sterner and how they played the left lane, because I felt like they played the left lane pretty good, and that would be more comparable like to how you throw it and how like I throw it and Mike throws it. I would try to play him how Tom Hess was throwing it, right? And he was using a pretty big ball. I believe he was using a big asymmetrical astrophysics. And he had a good look on the left lane. He looked like he was probably, like you said, probably around like, 15, 13, probably somewhere in that range. And his break point was probably around 6 or 7, which is pretty standard on a 40-something foot pattern. I feel like every 40 foot pattern plays similar to that. So yeah, I mean, to me, I would bring some big balls with you, some big asymmetrical stuff with some little bit of surface, and then just try to like ride the 10 to 12 to 13 start and just play with it, not.
Yeah, I was going to ask, like, what game are you talking that Hess was doing that? It probably had to be earlier in the block, I would imagine, right? Because, as the block went on, guys were definitely like super far left. I mean, last night,
7 or 8 they were left of like 20. The Hess was like left of 20 to 25.
Yeah, at one point I was watching Richie Teese, and it was just like really interesting to watch what he had to do to try and get the ball to go through the pins the right way. David Tolson with a comment that I sort of agreed with or found interesting anyway, especially given what we're talking about here. If they're going to do dual patterns, wouldn't it be more challenging if the difference of the patterns were 5 feet or more, maybe closer to 10 feet? I didn't examine the direct specifics of how these patterns compare to each other, but I'm assuming based on his comment that they were pretty close in length. And I don't know. I mean, like I said, to me, a lot of what they put out seems to play the same way.
I was fine with the patterns. I was fine with the conditions this week. I felt like it was fair. I felt like they gave the lefties a good shot. They gave the righties a pretty decent shot. I love the dual patterns. I think they need to do that more often. I feel like it does bring the scores down a little bit when you have dual pattern. It doesn't favor one style or one bowler, except maybe in this case where they just favored all lefties. But I'm fine with that. The left side hasn't been very good at all this season on the tour. So I feel like they need to give the left a little bit of airtime, essentially. I was surprised that we didn't see – I'm surprised I didn't see Butcher, to be honest with you, on this top 12. I know he was in like 20th or somewhere around there. And I'm surprised that we don't see Yesver either. I feel like – is there a new batch of lefties? Russo and Packy and Thaw. Is this a new batch of lefties coming in? That's
Thaw's not new.
He's not, but
I think he's just hot as of late. But Packy and Russo, you can definitely say are new.
So
and I would say yes. I mean, there's a lot of talent out there. And that talent is bound to capitalize at one time or another, So, and listen, as I've said before, guys go through runs, right? Guys have really good runs, and then they go through lulls for a bit. So, it could be that for some of the guys you mentioned, and these guys are stepping up and taking that opportunity.
Sure.
But yeah, listen, I'll be honest. I don't like this format. I don't think this format provides a lot of drama. I don't think that, it's like real interesting to watch just a 6-game block where it's just adding pins. There's, in my experience of watching these types of events, there's usually not a lot of drama. Even the drama you were describing, Rob, in the last round, which sounded good, and we were talking about it off air before we came on. It's kind of meaningless in a way, because like you get into the next round and there's only 6 games to go. And if you're one of those last 2 spots, you're probably not making a run anyway. Right. So really you're bowling just to bowl more games, catch a higher check. But yeah, I just, the drama isn't there for me, but I'm looking forward to the step ladder. I got a daddy-daughter dance tomorrow night. So I'll be watching the step ladder afterwards, after it's over, when I get home.
Let me ask you though, do you feel like this format, let's just say instead of 6 games, they put 12 games, non-match play, right? Do you think, though, this is a truer format for the people who bowl the best?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Undoubtedly, yes. But I'm a traditionalist. I'm a
factor.
And I'm a traditionalist. I mean, I like match play. I like match play because I'm a traditionalist. Say what you want about it. Call me old. Tell me, oh, we tried that and it didn't work. But listen, I like that format, especially when the factor of time isn't really involved. I understand that sometimes time can make it hard to do the round robin match play. But like I said, I enjoy that format much more. I think to be able to pick and choose, I want to watch this match or that match at key times is a much better viewing experience to me than, oh, I'm just going to watch this block of 6 games and it's really hard to keep track of who's where. But go ahead.
You want to know, this might get a lot of heat. I used to love the format where the PBA would take like the top 16 and then it would be best 4 out of 7, a bracket. Now think about if they actually switched to that format, and then you could bet, right, in all the matches on the best 4 out of 7 matches, and then you could stream them. You want to talk about a amazing betting experience that you could bet from home and stream.
Can bet on the match, can bet game to game.
Yeah.
Can bet over under. I mean, you could stay locked into that match and have a whole bankroll for that match.
And there's a lot of interesting for a viewer, a bowler and a non bowler, why that format is so great, because it's easy to follow. 4 out of 7, right? Everybody knows best 4 out of 7. As for a bowler, as a hardcore bowling fan, you love seeing how the lanes change and the moves they're making, and where they switch balls or they break down the pair in practice. It's like watching the Masters match play. To me, that's like super exciting. I love watching the Masters match play because there's a lot of strategy that goes into those matches, how they practice, when they move, when they switch. So I would love it if it doesn't have to be every tournament, but I would love it if they maybe went for a few tournaments where they went back to the best 4 out of 7 match play. And then you could mix up the formats. You could have a round robin, one tournament, where they bowl, 24 games of match play or whatever, 12 games of match play. And then maybe next tournament, you do the best 4 out of 7 bracket. I just like to see them do different formats. I think would be interesting.
Love the best 4 out of 7 bracket. That was probably the funnest viewing experience.
Oh, when people, right? Like you never see, like
when it was on Extra Frame.
Oh yeah,
you could, they'd bring up that key match or that match. They were good at showing like whatever, they weren't showing many matches, but they were good at showing the match that people wanted to see. Love that format. Even being a traditionalist, and I'll say this, like again, off the wall take here, but one of the reasons I feel like tennis is popular is because the way they set up the bracket in tennis, the way they set up the draw, it always ends up being like the top guys that make the final and play against each other, right? And I'll be honest, like I think bowling kind of lost an opportunity to do that when they went to that format of the match play with the best 4 or 7, where they really could have made it easier for the top guys to be ranked 1, 2, 3, 4, and give them an easier road to the show every week, and been repeating guys on the show and trying to build that interest in those particular players who were going to be on the show regularly. I wouldn't even be mad if they tried to do that now. But with that best 4 of 7 format, there was a little bit too much gamesmanship for me with the lanes and stuff. Going back, I remember several instances where like it seemed like guys were purposely manipulating pairs, like sacrificing a game or two to manipulate a pair and then try and win going away.
You don't like that? I think that's awesome. That's hilarious.
I
love that.
No, I don't think that's what what the game is about. I don't.
Stop it.
I just don't. I think you go out there and you try and strike. You try and put up a higher score than your opponent, but
strategy, my man.
Yeah, in terms of betting, though, love that idea. But all right, you want to talk about some bowling ball stuff, Rob? I hate talking about bowling ball stuff, but you got a story that you just have to bring up.
I do. So a very interesting new ball that's coming out, and I wanted your take and I wanted your opinion on this because this is something different, and it might be. Well, I'll read you the Facebook post. Okay, I was gonna bring this up by worst of the week, but I feel like this might be my worst of the week. So how about this? Let me hit the worst of the week, and let me use this for worst of the week. All right, we're good. You go with that?
All right, go ahead.
All right, it's time. Worst of the week. Give the people what they want.
If this is Stu, let's go, Stu. The last 2 times Stu made a run, I texted him, and I said, "Let's go, Hoss." And he shit the bed. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I didn't say nothing. I didn't text him. I didn't say nothing. But Hoss, let's go. Come on.
Okay, so my worst of the week goes to Deviate Bowling. Okay, and I want your opinion on this because Mike didn't know about this before we got on the air. I had to bring this to him, which is weird. There is no question that the fastest growing and most exciting category in our game is the two-handed bowler and those that don't use their thumb. These styles have revolutionized the game, yet there has never been a bowling ball designed with the uniqueness of these players in mind. Deviate saw a need in the market for a ball that would work for traditional bowlers, but is specifically designed with two-handers and no-thumb bowlers in mind. And we are excited to introduce the Troublemaker. Their shape features...
That's a funny name for that ball.
The Troublemaker, Mike. The shape and features of the dualistic core are what make the Troublemaker unique and valuable for no thumbers. Oh, that's Barnes. That ain't Stu. That's Barnes.
He said it's Barnes. Yeah.
That is 100% Chris Barnes on a. His ass is still chopped. That I call
Dr. Barnes. Wasn't me. Wait. I didn't say that.
His ass is still chopped. That I called a tournament. He averaged 204 a strike fest.
Oh, it's terrible. Terrible take. Terrible take.
After the first day of qualifying, too. Let me finish up my worst of the week.
All right. Somebody's commenting on the logo of the ball.
Oh,
can you bring it up?
Yeah. Yeah. It's I don't. Oh, it's like a little devil with a pitchfork. Well, that's Deviate's logo.
The Troublemaker. The Troublemaker.
So the shape and features of the dualistic core are what make the Troublemaker unique and valuable for no thumbers. As you examine a half-ball image of the core, you'll notice defined areas. Mike, you listening? You'll notice defined areas our engineers built into design for the two-finger holes to hit specific parts of the core, changing the numbers more dramatically than a typical core shape. We have developed a series of videos that we'll be releasing in the next coming weeks. April 20th, Mike. I was hoping this would come out to April 1st, and I was hoping that this was an April Fool's joke that they were playing on the people, but
it's coming out on 420. I want to know what they were smoking. I want to know what they were smoking. when they came up with this idea. And they're dropping this ball on 420. Ain't that a coincidence?
So that's your opinion? Is this a complete marketing ploy by DV8? Is this like the Sport Bowl? Remember the Columbia Sport Bowl they came out with only for sport patterns? I felt like that was actually bowl was pretty good, but they marketed it towards the sport pattern. So is this something similar to that?
I mean, listen, to me, like, DV8 is irrelevant. I'm gonna be honest. Like, it might as well be on a respirator over here. Like, what is going on with DV8? Like, who's throwing DV8 stuff? Like, who's out here? Who's out here like repping DV8 equipment hard? I'm like Packy. I think his spot is like he's brand is DV8. You think he wants to throw DV8 in this show? You think that it's in his contract that he has to throw DV8 in a show? You think he wants to throw DV8 ball over a purple? I mean, come on. Listen, don't even go there. All right. But I guess if you're going to try it with any brand, then do it with that brand, right? Try something different. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. What the hell do I know about the technical side of core design in bowling to be able to comment on whether this is a legitimate idea or not? I don't. But I'll tell you this, it smells like bullshit to me. That's what it smells like to me. Like, I don't, I could be wrong. Maybe somebody comes along and says, no, this is revolutionary, but if it was something revolutionary, would it be coming from DV8? Like, wouldn't we expect Storm or Brunswick to come out with something under one of those brands? If it's that revolutionary or that great of an idea, I don't know.
I guess my
God bless the pro shop guys, though. God bless the pro shop guys who have people come in and see this ball and they like it. They like the name. Oh, the Troublemaker. Oh, I love that name. I want to drill that ball. And they got to tell them, no, sorry, you can't drill that ball. Why can't I drill? Because it's for two-handers only. No, I'm still going to drill it. And then they drill it for them, and it's not going to work. And they're gonna come in and complain because it doesn't work, even though they told them don't drill it. It's for two-handers. I mean, I don't know. Whatever. What am I supposed to say?
He's not saying anything. People are dying here. How about the new built incentive bullshit? Jimmy from the Ring and 10 always got a good comment. Yeah, I guess my question for DV8 would be is why are you guys taking out half of your like target audience to buy bowling balls like instantly, right?
All right, so I have an answer for that question. Can I answer that?
Sure.
To get flocks of two-handers to come and buy this particular ball, perhaps maybe. Like it, and then like stick with the brand in some way.
I'll tell you what their marketing did do. The marketing did get us to talk about it on the show. So
this is true. This is true. And Austin Keith, I don't know if he's being facetious or not in the chat, but he says I think it'll be pretty good. But I don't know how revolutionary anything is right now that's new in bowling. Okay, all right.
Until that ball comes out that we spoke about a while back on one of our shows, where you actually can control the ball with a remote instead of actually throwing it, I'm not really sure how revolutionary new balls can get at this point.
Yeah. So I'm sure when the 3D offset core came out, people maybe made fun of it and said, "Oh, this is a dumb idea," and it turned out to be one of the best balls ever. So. What do I know? Roland Fernandez. What do we know? In the chat saying this ball will disintegrate if you drill a thumb hole in it.
No, it actually what happens is a voice comes out of it and says this ball will what is it? What is the Mission Impossible? This ball will self-destruct in 3 seconds, and then the timer goes off and the ball explodes. So do not drill a thumb hole in the Troublemaker. USPC will ban it if you drill a thumb hole. That's Kevin Weeks' comment. So yeah, and a lot of people. Anyway, I thought that was interesting.
And yeah, I mean, because the two-handers need more of an advantage, right? They
Well,
don't have
Tony
enough.
Tina-
They don't have enough of an advantage. They need now they're going to give them just special bowling balls with special cores that none of us can use. Yeah, let's create more controversy in the bowling world. Let's create more lopsidedness. Oh my goodness,
So, Tony,
Joe Paluzik's head's going to explode.
Oh, I love it.
Can I just say,
Boston
Joe Paluzik's head is going to explode. Somebody check on Joe Paluzik right now. Somebody call the Ben Salem police and have them do a wellness check on our guy Joe Paluzik, please.
Is he going to market it on his, on his Patch Pirate Facebook?
No. Whoa. Don't go that far, bro. Don't go that far, though. But no. But no, I don't think. Honestly, I think he's radical. Now, I don't think he was deviated one time, but I don't think
right. He wasn't. He was. You're right. I got that.
Yeah,
confused.
I think he's radical.
Deviate. They're both on respirators. It's the same company.
Actually, can I say Radical seems like they've been making some pretty good stuff. Like that Rattler, the Radical Rattler. I hear a lot of good things about that. Like that's definitely on my to drill list. I heard a lot of good things about that ball. But
someone check on him though. So Tony said he's seen it go down the lane. It's also for someone that uses the thumb. It just made help with layouts for two-handers.
Well, if that's the case, then this is just nonsense marketing. No, I mean, because otherwise it's like you're selling it as something that's made for two-handers, but a one-hander can use it too. I don't know. I mean, that seems a little disingenuous to me.
Anyway, all right, Michael. I figured that would be a good talking point. Dude,
is somebody trying to call me a patch pirate? You trying to call me a patch pirate, son?
No, Mike will never be a patch pirate because Mike can't get free stuff. So
watch yourself. Yeah, you want to know something? I won't be a patch pirate because all the free stuff I get, I give away. Okay,
You're a man of the people, Mike. You're the
I am because that's how I am. That's how I am. It makes me feel better to hook up somebody else than to have a hookup myself.
Mike, you're the Robin Hood of bowling. That's what can we say, man? That's
all right. I gotta go to our email and I gotta give somebody a shout for this worst of the week.
Oh, I saw this. I saved it for you.
Kevin Herbert. Kevin Herbert. Thank you for the email. My goodness. Oh my God. I'm gonna read this email to you. Okay. Are you people ready for this? This is ridiculous. He emailed us to tell us that he had a worst of the week from the National Bowling Stadium in Reno from Nationals, okay? And he says he just got back from bowling Nationals last week. And during the pre-team event announcements in the squad room, the USBC had announced that they had added a game of chance where one lucky bowler can win a little cash, okay? And he sent us a photo. He sent us a photo of what this looks like. So basically, it's like a box, right? A box with numerous holes in it, right? It's a box with numerous holes in it, and the holes are covered by a black sheet of paper. Okay,
it's a box with a hole in it. Okay?
It's a box with a hole in it that's covered by a black sheet of paper. Okay, and
a black curtain.
Could be a black curtain, and you would actually put your hand and fist. You'd put your fist through the black curtain. I can't even get through this. You'd put your fist through the black curtain. Where there'd probably be a prize behind there. Okay, there'd probably be a prize. Oh, guys, stick with me. We're getting to the punchline. Please stick with me. Oh, my goodness. So he sends us a photo. I described the photo. All right. He says, kudos to them for doing a little something for the bowlers. But where they ran into a problem is that where they decided to name the game. And he says that the game is being called the pullout game. the pullout game. It's called the pullout game. Dude, the USBC built a box. They built a box with holes in it. Okay, numerous holes in it with a black curtain behind the hole. Okay,
you stick your fist in it.
You stick your fist through the hole. Into the hole, and supposedly there is a prize behind the hole, and they call this the pullout game. Okay, all right, the pullout game.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Dead right.
Kevin Herbert, thank you for the email. He says when they announced the name of the game, there were about 100 dudes laughing their asses off. How are you going to call this the pullout game? Okay. He says, by the way, Art from Santa Fe won $50 on my squad. So I guess you could say his pullout game wasn't that strong. Oh my goodness gracious.
Dude,
USBC, what are
oh
you
my
doing?
goodness. That's got to be a huge troll job.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Mike, I hate to say it, Mike, but like,
Chad, what are your people doing over there, son?
yo, I'll be honest with you, Mike. I'm 41. I have no kids, so yo, my pullout game's just as strong.
I mean, I'm not going to USBC Nationals, but if I was, I'd try and bring my strongest pullout game that I have with me.
Dude,
You
a
know?
lot of people have a strong pullout game. Matt Carpenter's got a strong pullout
Oh
game.
my goodness!
Dude,
Oh my goodness!
This might be. I have to remember this.
I can't. I almost couldn't make it through that. I'm sorry.
Because the more you talked about it, the more you realized how actually ridiculous the name of the game was. You're sticking your hand in a.
Well, it's also you gotta. I wish I could share the picture, but you gotta see the box.
Do you want me to pull it up? I'll pull it up
to
right
understand. Now. It makes it funnier. So I'm, me having to try and describe that.
Hold on.
Is the truth. Kevin Herbert in the chat. Thanks for the email, bro. That was amazing.
Are you talking to them? I'm getting the shit right now up.
Oh, here. Oh, you bringing it up? Okay. All right. Perfect.
Got it. Just that quick.
There it is. There it is, right? I mean, did I do a good job? I did a fair job of describing it, right? Right?
Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, Blackbird. Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, this guy is so happy. His pullout game actually, is not for $50. That's actually pretty good.
I don't know. Well, it depends what the top prize was. What was the top prize? 50, 100, 200, 500. Oh, no. He got the lowest prize, bro.
Oh, yes,
come on.
Pullout game is weak.
He got the lowest prize.
Yeah.
I'm pulling out 500. You know that.
Game is strong. That's why.
No doubt. I'm pulling out 500.
Oh, Mike. Oh, that's amazing. Let me pull this off here so we don't sit here and look at Mr. Lee Griffin.
All right. Hit them with the worst of the week. It's always a good show when I cry in laughter. It's always a decent show.
I know. I was crying for like a few minutes. That just was, the more you told it, the better that got.
Oh, boy. Final thoughts, Rob? Matt Ogle. That's your final thought. Go Matt Ogle.
80 to 1. I mean, I can't.
How much you put on that?
$5.
Okay. 400. Turn a 5 into 400 ain't bad.
Dude, I'm not on your level. I ain't putting $10 on these. Like, I'm gonna look at what the odds are tonight, maybe, and see if there's any good shot. I can't imagine EJ Tackett having good odds tonight. I still think he'll probably be even money. Oh yeah, PBA Junior Saturday. I know. I saw Bella. I saw Bella Love in the chat. I wish her good luck. So yeah, she's killing it as juniors. When we got sent her bowling years ago, I believe her dad sent us a video of her bowling, and I think we actually spoke about it on air about this two-handed girl, and now she's good to see her. She's killing it out there. So we'll check it out for sure. Have it DVR'd.
Nico wants to know if we're putting bets on someone to roll under 100 in the Masters.
If I got good odds,
Yeah, what are the odds?
I would do that 100%.
What odds you need to bet on that, Rob? I would need I was going to say I would need 12 to 1 on that.
10 to 1.
You give me 12 to 1 on that, and I might bet on that.
Yeah.
It's definitely possible.
Maybe.
No question. The only problem is the blocks are short. There are only 5-game blocks in the Masters, so you never really get to the point where they're playing the lanes in a really extreme manner, where somebody would shoot less than 100. But I would definitely put some dough on that. But all right, my final thought. I got a busy weekend coming up. I'm looking forward to watching the bowling tomorrow night at some point after I get home from my obligations here. And I hope it's a good stepladder. I hope it's entertaining. I hope it's entertaining. I hope we have a lot to talk about on Sunday when we come back.
Yeah, so we'll be live Sunday. At this point, it'll probably be 7 p.m. East Coast time. So if people want to mark your calendars. Real quick too, I was going to mention that I might the TAT regional tournament is in town in a few weekends. I might come off the street, Mike. 3 games a week, no practice. I might bowl $100, bowl 3 games, see if I could pop in. Maybe I match up, $5,000 for first. So I don't know. Maybe I might come out of retirement just to bowl because it's close to the house and stuff. But
all right. Well, if you do, let us know on Twitter.
Maybe we'll see. That'll be not. I'll bring it up if I decide to bowl. Other than that, a little smaller field, and the fillers are the Midwest, not the West Coast.
Yeah, so maybe less likely that somebody bowls 100. But Dr. Barnes, tell your co-host we said let's go, let's get it done. I don't want to black cloud him and reach out to him. So when you see him tonight or tomorrow, tell him we said we're over here rooting for him. So
yeah, I think Tommy would be the bet though. If you really want to ask me the bet tomorrow, if I'm going to look at the odds tonight, I guarantee you we could probably get Tommy a plus, 1,500 or better to win the tournament, being 70 or 80 pins out. So I think Tommy to me would be probably the bet.
I'll tell you what, check that when we get off.
I will,
and let me know. And I might text you and have you throw something on that if I like the odds. I would love AJ Johnson. Let's go. I mean, you want Matt Ogle, I want AJ Johnson. That would be a huge hit for me if he wins. So if he can find a way to put a good one together. But yeah, like I said, looking forward to watching tomorrow. Looking forward to watching the stepladder, and I'll be following it throughout the days I'm at work and whatnot. But listen, we enjoy everybody joining us. I can't believe anybody listens to our nonsense, but we always manage to have fun here. So don't take us too seriously in any way, shape, or form. But we appreciate everybody reaching out. I haven't gotten the prizes out for the raffle yet. I apologize. I wanted to get them out on Monday. I got everybody's information. I got everybody's mailing address. I'm going to get the prizes out before Monday. You have my word on that. So we'll wrap that up. Somebody was asking about our plans for the Players Championship at Carolier earlier in the chat. So Rob can't come out because he's just bought a house. He's got a lot going on, so he's not coming out. Am I going to do some things for it? Yeah, I mean, hit me up, email me, hit me up on social media. If you guys are down to hang out and people are coming out, I can easily do a tailgate. I don't live too far from Carolier, so I'm open to whatever. You guys just let me know. I know a few spots around there that we could definitely hang out at, good food, good drink, etc. So anybody that's interested, let me know. And I would imagine that I will be there a good amount. And I would imagine that probably for the final, the shows, whatever they're airing, I would imagine that I'll probably be in the parking lot early, hanging out, doing some tailgating, just kind of chilling, So let me know. Hit me up. Shoot me a text, shoot me a DM, shoot me an email. And definitely, if you're going, I see a lot of people saying they're going. If you're going, yeah, definitely reach out to me and let me know. Because if you're somebody who comes and hangs out every week, I'd love to link up and buy you guys a drink and talk some bowling. So hit us up about that. More plans to follow. Rob, if you bowl, good luck. Everybody enjoy the bowling. We'll be back on Sunday.
You are now listening to Sweep the Rack podcast featuring Brooklyn Rob and Big Mike.